Welcome back to Adventures with PC Warbear. Well, today is canning day. I got up about 7 o'clock this morning. I went out and picked my greens. Got Japanese greens, they're purple, and Southern Giant greens, they're green. But when they're all cooked up, then everything turns to green. I got my jars in here, getting hot so we don't shock them, bust them all to pieces. Got some additional water back here for canning in case I need to top off my jars. Got my lids here, my rings, funnel, my top with the gasket inside, and my weight. Now, I gotta cook the greens first. I got them rinsed off in the sink over here. Right there, with 2 sinkfuls of greens. Then I gotta cook them up till they get wilted, then chop them up a little bit and then stuff them in them hot jars I got warming up. So I'm going to rinse these off, the greens off, and get them in a stock pot and start cooking them till they wilt down. Check y'all in a bit. Guess I'm going to cook in this pot right here. Greens start out with your basket overflowing. Then you de-stem them and they shrink some. Then you wash them, they shrink a little bit more. Then when you cook them down, they shrink even more. So hopefully I got 9 pint jars ready to go. If we get 6, we'll be happy. If we get 7, we'll be even better. Alright, so we will see what we get. Alright. I packed a hot jar with hot greens. Put in a half a teaspoon of salt. And now we're going to check for our headspace, which 1 inch is the big one. And we are right there at 1 inch. So that's perfect. Now all we got to do is wipe the lid off like this. Then you put on a clean lid. Right there. Then you finger tight your ring to there. Then we can go ahead and put, oops, there goes my spoon. We can go ahead and put this back in the canner and it'll be on standby till we get the rest of everything cooked up, and then it's just repeat the same process. So we put in another batch of greens, and it'll just put them in there all washed up already, and rinsed and washed, and then you just keep on stirring these till they're wilted down, and stick it in another jar. And then I use, where's my chopper? I use this to see the greens are still fairly large, so like this piece. So as they cook down, I'll chop it like you would a pie. I'll come straight across and then this way and make it into eighths, and that'll cut all them greens down to a decent size to eat. I have all my jars in here, and they are, I pre-fill them with water just to weigh them down so I can use my can water's at the proper height, but I fill the jars up with water to warm the jar up at the same time I'm warming up my canning water. So when I take all that water out, it'll be at the proper level. So right now the canner's heating up, so it's pulling double duty. It's heating my jars plus it's heating my canning water at the same time. I figured that's the quickest way to do it. Alright. Now I got my greens in here. Now I'm going to chop them down to size. Work my way through all the ones I just showed you that were quite large. So I cut them right here in a pot. Without a knife, I just used the sharp end on my spatula here, and it does a fine job. back another jar. Because I cooked it down to where it's wilted, and that's what it said do. So what I'll do, pull out a jar, which is a hot jar, dump that hot water out here. Give me a half a teaspoon of canning salt. Half a teaspoon. Teaspoon of canning salt right there. Bring my jar over here. Get my tongs and my little funnel. Work close to my pot so I don't drip water everywhere. And these tongs are just big enough to go right down to shoot on the funnel. So we just pull these out and stuff. Right there. It says pack it, so we're going to pack them on in there. And the water level was getting good, so we're going to drain this off a little bit. Pull a little bit of these off. I got a little overfull, and that should be right at an inch. The lip to the, it's got the lip up here, and then there's an inner ring down here. And they usually put you right at an inch, which it did, so that's perfect. So we're gonna stick this in. It was a little canning kit, and I'll still use it, and get the bubbles out. See if we're still good. All the product is still below the water line. Left me a little bit more to go in there, not much, just enough topped off. Then clean that jar lid off like we just did. Get us another clean lid right here. And put us on another ring. Then we can take our lid thing and drop it right back down into our water. Alright, we got 7 pints. That's good. I turned the other burners off, didn't need them. So now we're going to put the lid on it and let it vent. Alright, we have it on the burner. Now we're waiting for steam to come out of here. Then we're going to time that for 10 minutes and then put the weight on it. Alright, the 10 minutes of venting is done. Now we put on our weight. And where I'm at, it's 10 pounds. And we wait for that to make its move, and then the countdown to canning starts. The pressure gauge just activated. So now, with a pint jar, it's 1 hour and 10 minutes. But the timer don't start till that thing goes off, which it did. We adjust this to medium heat. Set the timer. And let it do its thing. Alright, our 1 hour and 10 minutes is up. Now we gotta wait for all the pressure that's in the canner to bleed off. Have a little valve here that's poked up. All the pressure from the weight here is still coming up. So I usually set it for about an hour. So remind me to come back and check on it. And it's usually bled off by then. About 40 minutes to an hour, all that pressure will be bleed off. Then we'll come back and set it on the counter for 12 hours. Alright, we got it down to 0 pressure. we take the lid off, let it sit for 10 minutes, equalize with the air, because it's still hot. So when that goes off, we'll be able to take them out, set them to the side. Our can project for today right there for the next 12 hours, and then I'll put them in the store. I hear you. That's a wrap for this set of greens. Alright. If you liked it, share it, subscribe. Got some more gardening to do. Summer's just getting started. Alright.